Okay, going to consider oligopolies now. Now, oligopolies is where there's actually a small number of firms sharing a large proportion of the market. So between them they have a substantial share. For example, car manufacturers. There's a small number of firms sharing a large market. There's competition in terms of branding and differentiation. And actually there's not generally a lot of competition in the price. It tends to be the branding differentiation rather than the price. There's barriers of entry to actually enter this particular market, and there's interdependence, which is very important, this issue of collusion and competition. If we think about collusion to start with, collusion where there's an implicit or explicit agreement between firms over the price of the market share. So companies actually may agree on this price, this market share, and if it's done formally, it's referred to as a cartel. The firms get together, they specifically agree to it. An example of that is OPEC, and OPEC represent the oil producers, and they do this often, and they agree how much petrol, how much oil is actually going to be produced. Now it's important to actually say that cartels are actually illegal in the UK. Now you also get tacit collusion where companies agree not to compete on price. So for example, petrol stations in a certain area will have a similar price and may raise or lower them quickly following one another's move. There's no formal agreement with this. This is more implicit, but the petrol station does tend to be very similar in one area, and again often competing not specifically on the cost. So very tight competition and very tight responsiveness. And just following this on a bit more about this competition oligopolies. So we're saying companies oligopolies may not compete on the price, but there could be really fierce competition on design, on the service, on the quality, on the branding. And the car market has got a number of areas where there's not a vast difference in the price, but it's the claims about the quality, the brand, the design, which attracts certain markets. And there's actually likely to be huge marketing budgets actually raising costs and prices as people actually compete for this market share. And actually more marketing does actually lead to a better market share and a better information for the consumer. The price challenge here though, it's possible for a company in oligopoly to cut prices to maintain or gain a market share, but there is a situation here of the risk of price war. So what size, what price, what cuts might prompt retaliation by rivals, and if this happens, who actually wins? And economists, we actually use game theory to help predict the outputs of situations like this. And there'll be more in the seminar.